How is it going, guys? We are drilling some more holes in our car today. Not the GR86 this time, it's the FRS. I don't know what's going on this week, okay? I guess I just like drilling holes in my car. Why, you may ask? Well, when you're tracking your car, there are a lot of rules to follow. Things like wearing your helmet, rolling the windows down, having tow hooks, taking all the loose items out of your car. For example, the floor mats. They can, on rare occasion, become wedged underneath the pedals, and it's not a great feeling not being able to press that brake pedal. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Not a problem in this car because it didn't come with floor mats, but that means that I'm resting my feet directly on the carpet. And with this being an 8-year-old car and the aggressive nature of just driving on the track, I'm beating the shit out of the carpet. There's a big worn spot underneath the pedals. I think there's a hole developing as well. Now, ideally, we would just take the carpet out, right? Because it's a race car. But with the class that I'm running in, I'm required to keep most of my interior bits. So instead, we hit up Racebred Components because they have the perfect solution. This is their anti-slip heel plate. This lovely piece of powder-coated aluminum essentially replaces your floor mats, whether you have carpet or not. It's actually probably worse if you don't have carpet because the painted floor would be slippery, but this has a rubberized grip texture built in and is gonna make the perfect platform underneath the pedals. It comes with everything you need to get it installed. You can either use rivet nuts or just the normal nut and washer, which we're gonna be using. It also comes with some gummy bears, which I'll be snacking on later. This is a universal product, so you can essentially install this on pretty much any car. It's gonna cover up that worn patch and give us a nice solid platform to put our feet. So let's hop in the car and get to drilling. So there is the worn out spot that I was talking about, and then the hole that is developing. We're gonna get this covered up and it is gonna look a whole lot better. We're gonna test fit this first to get an idea of where we want it to sit. I wanna try and get it as close to the transmission tunnel as possible and as far forward as possible, which is pretty much right there. And we're gonna use these slotted holes on the four corners to mount this. So I've got some painter's tape, and we're just gonna lay these down where those holes were and use these to mark where we need to drill. Now we'll put the plate back on. Now I'm gonna take a center punch and mark where I need to drill the holes. I'm gonna use the outer slotted hole. Okay, we'll take this off. As much as I'd love to just start drilling holes, we do need to check underneath the car to make sure we're not drilling into something important. In this case, over on the driver's side, we have these lines that I do not want to touch. So what I'm gonna do is drill on the outer side because these are closer to the transmission tunnel. So we'll drill the 2 holes on the outer side first and then measure the distance from those holes to the ones on the inside to make sure that we aren't touching these lines. I've already done the ones on the passenger side here. No problems over here because there's nothing important to nick. I did have to take the JDM aero covers that I had underneath the car off to reveal all of this, but that's super easy. Let's hop back in the car and we'll drill some holes and go from there. All right, here goes nothing. We're gonna start with a small bit on the outer hole first. There's one. Okay, I'm gonna try to do the one towards the front, but the clutch is in the way, so I'm gonna have to push it out of the way with one hand. Oh, that sounds great. We've got 2 of the holes drilled. Let me see if I can find them for you. Here's the rearmost outer one, and then the front outermost is right on the edge here. Thankfully, we didn't hit this because that would have been a pain. So what we're gonna do now is take the measurement from here to here, as well as here to here, and then we'll go measure from those holes to make sure we don't hit those lines. So the measurement is 10 1/4 for the front, which leaves us about 2 inches away from those lines, which is perfect. And I'm going to assume that the rear is good as well, which it is. So we are good to drill the other 2 holes. We confirmed that we're not gonna screw anything else up. I am gonna change the location of this hole though, so that I don't run into having to drill through some welds. So we're gonna, instead of using the outer hole, we're just going to use the middle hole, and that should get us away from that weld. And last one. Perfect. I'm gonna take the tape off since we've got all the holes drilled, and then once I have the tape off, we'll enlarge the holes to 1/4 of an inch since we're using just the nut and washer. If you're installing the rivet nuts, you're gonna wanna drill out the holes to 3/8 of an inch. The hole under the clutch pedal is kind of a pain because the clutch pedal's in the way, so I've got a pole here that I'm gonna press the pedal in with, and then I'm gonna wedge the pole in front of my seat so it stays right there. That's how I drilled the hole the first time. But now we're gonna drill it out. If I can find the hole, there it is. Since we already have the pilot holes drilled and I'm having a hell of a time finding the holes from the top side, we're just gonna drill or enlarge the holes from the bottom, since that's a way easier option. We've got all the holes drilled without nicking anything important, so now we just need to mount the plate into place using the included hardware. Like I said, they come with everything that you need. So you get both the rivet nuts, which we're not using, so I'm gonna take these off, as well as the nut and washers. You've got the risers here that are available in either 1/2 inch, which I have here, or 1 inch, so this raises the plate off of the floor. And then you have these nice countersunk washers with the bolts. So let's get the rivet nuts off this hardware and we'll get the plate into place. All right, let's try and get these bolts into the holes that we drilled. Oh, hey, there's one, okay. And we got the nut on there. Perfect. All right, we've got the plate installed. I just need to get the under panels put back and we're good to go. It looks a whole lot better than the worn out carpet and it's functional. It wasn't too bad of an install, a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Obviously drilling the holes is always nerve-wracking, but we got it over with and turned out great. As you saw, I got both the driver and passenger side installed because sometimes I do have a passenger in this car and I don't want them wearing out the carpet either. If you want to pick up one of these for yourself or any other Racebred component items like their splitters or wings, check out the link down in the description. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, can't forget my gummy bears.